Hi, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Bridgewater Conservation meeting. Let's see, it is February 27th, 2025. We have a quorum, so I'll open the meeting. Time is now 5:30. So we have a call to order. And public hearings, we have just old business, a notice of intent for 1968 South Street, map 125. Oh, nope, nope, I'm sorry, I'm backing up. I jumped ahead. For the record, the members and staff present, Harry Bailey, Marilyn McDonald, Vice Chair, Eileen Prisco. Is Mark on?
Yes.
Mark
Mark's on.
Peterson, and Caitlin Putt, the conservation agent, and myself, Wendy Smith. I'll now read the governor's order for online meetings into the record. Disclosure pursuant to Section 20 of Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting of the Conservation Commission for the town of Bridgewater will be hybrid and accessible to the public through remote participation to the greatest extent possible. There will be no public attendance permitted. Citizens who wish to tune in to the meeting may do so via Zoom. As always, the link and/or the phone number are located on the bridgewaterma.org website. And now I will go over the call to order. We did the public hearings, old business, notice of intent, 1968 South Street, map 125, lot 17. We have a notice of intent for Forest Street, map 99, lots 24, 25, and 74. We have no new business. We have Conservation Commission business, administrative items for 1453 Plymouth Street, BRS discussion, and just an acceptance of minutes and adjournment. So with that, under the old business, first up is the notice of intent for 1968 South Street, map 125, lot 17. The applicant representative is Mark McLeod, JK Holmgren Engineering, LLC, and the DEP file number is SE 116-1560. So Scott, if you're on,
I am.
I understand that the flags have been moved, that you have new plans, and Caitlin was able to get out to see. So if you want to share the plan so we can just take a look at the flags,
Sure.
and then we can move on from there.
All right, Scott, you're good to go when you're ready to present.
All right. Good evening, Madam Chair. Good evening, Commission members. Scott Farrier from Holmgren Engineering. When we left our meeting a couple of weeks ago, there we go. We discussed coming to a resolution on the wetlands line, and what we agreed on was to, when looking at the two lines, the previously approved line from 3 years ago by Ken Thompson and our current line from Brad Holmes of ECR, we agreed that anywhere where Brad's line was less conservative than the previously approved line, we would extend Brad's line out. So we did that. Those are the flags that you're looking at now that are shown in red. We went out and flagged those new locations, labeled them. In this instance, we labeled it new A29. So you could still see the old flag and the new flag. I met Caitlin out there yesterday, and we walked all the flags to see the new locations. You can see down in this lower area, Brad's line was a little bit lower, so we moved the new A22 and A21 up above A18. And then there was a series of flags up in this top corner here that we also moved. So we moved in total, it was 8 flags. As I said, they're all now flagged in the field, properly labeled, and we reviewed them all with Caitlin, and hopefully that puts that matter to rest, Madam Chair.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Scott. Okay, so Caitlin, do you have any comment that you want to make?
Yeah, so like Scott said, we went out there yesterday. I do want to clarify because I know when I went out there with Marilyn, there was pink flags and there were pink and black striped flags. So Brad Holmes did his delineation and he used those pink and black striped flags, just to clarify. So what we were going off of were those flags, and then they were marked with new orange flags. So like Scott said, we walked the whole line, and I checked the spots where they bumped them up, and everything looks good. They did everything as seen
we
in the
asked.
plan, so.
Okay, good. Marilyn, do you want to share anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Eileen,
I'm good.
Harry,
No, I'm fine. That's exactly what we wanted, what we
Right.
asked for, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Mark,
Fine.
okay. Are there any, abutters that are on that have any questions, concerns, or comments? You can raise your hand or use the raise your hand feature on the Zoom at the bottom. Caitlin will call on you.
I am not seeing anybody, Chair.
Okay, great. So with that, I guess I would ask the commission members, do we have enough information that we can close the hearing?
I think so.
Yeah,
Make a motion that we close the hearing.
yep. I think, yeah, make a motion to close the hearing and then,
Yep,
As mentioned, I don't have my agenda with me, so somebody else can take the lead.
oh, yeah.
okay.
Do you
All right.
want, you want a motion or do you want a motion to close the hearing first?
You have to make a motion to close
Close the
first.
hearing.
Yeah.
Well, we already did. So
Okay.
I'm
I didn't hear a second, that's
Yeah.
all.
second.
Okay,
All right.
and can we do a roll call vote? Marilyn?
Did we put the map in parcels in? I couldn't hear that.
Map 125 lot 17, yeah.
There you go.
At the bottom of the screen.
Okay, so roll call, Marilyn?
Aye.
Eileen? Sorry, Eileen, I didn't hear you.
Aye.
Thanks. Harry?
Aye.
Mark?
I don't think I can vote the Mullen rule. I don't know if I can vote to
Okay.
close it.
All right.
Did you
And-
rewatch the video, Mark?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, then yeah, you can't. And myself, Wendy, aye. And now do we have a motion to
Yeah.
issue?
I'll make a motion to issue the NOI on 1968 South Street map 125 lot 17.
Second.
Excellent. Thank you, Harry. And a roll call vote, Eileen,
Aye.
Harry,
Aye.
Marilyn?
Yes, I hear in Caitlin's explanation. Thank you.
Okay, and myself, aye, Wendy. All right, you're all set, Mr.
Thank-
Faria.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks so
Scott.
much. Okay, next up, we have a notice of intent for Forest Street. I believe it's 554 Forest Street. Map 99, lot 24, 25, and 74. The applicant representative is David and Mary Weber. It's MBL Land Development and Permitting Corp. The DEP file number is SE 116-1561. And who do we have? Do we have Brian Dunn?
That's me. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Brian. I'm not sure, you could reshare and explain the restoration area, replication area, maybe. We probably want to look at the plans, but I can tell you right now that I believe that we're all having an issue with the 25-foot no touch. So we can take a look and then we can have discussion.
Okay,
Okay?
so let's let me see if I can share the plans.
I gave you permission, Brian, so you should be all set.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All set, everybody can see?
Just started sharing.
Yep, there it
Okay.
is.
Just want to make sure. Okay, good evening, members of the commission. My name is Brian Dunn. I'm the principal of the firm of MBL Land Development and Permitting with offices at 5 Bristol Drive in southeastern Mass. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Mary and David Weber. In front of you is the existing conditions plan, and this is the slide presentation. I'll kind of like go over it one more time and, show everybody what's going on. with this project. So this is the existing condition survey where you can see the wetland line that we walked with Caitlin on Monday afternoon. And, pretty much, follow this wetland line as we walk through the backyards and through this lot. And then discuss with Caitlin her comments on the wetland line. It sounded like she was okay with our delineation. All the flags were there, were numbered with pink and black flags that were delineated by Brad Holmes from ECR. He was there on the onsite as well with Caitlin. And this plan here is the proposed design. You can see the wetland line here in blue, and then the house going in this area here. And then this light blue area is around 2,900 square feet of wetland alteration because of where this wetland line is here, the dark blue. And then here is the restoration area. And where we've proposed this restoration area is really in a really good location on site, and your agent will concur with that if you ask her the question, because we were standing here and it's really wide open, kind of lawn area, very little tree cover in this area, and it would be an ideal location for that wetland replication to go in as part of that site plan. And the septic system we proposed, we did perk test out here. It did pass. And we have where the septic system is going to be will be 50 feet away from the wetland line once it's filled, if you grant an order of conditions either tonight or the next meeting. The more detailed wetland replication plan, you can see we've got summer sweet, berry trees and bushes, and very, very much the species that are appropriate with this area. And the New England wetland seed plant mix that would go in this area as well. So there would be regeneration through this area with that wetland plant mix as well. This is the proposed Form A plan, which really brings both of these lots more in conforming with area. So this is ideal for the septic systems as well as the square foot area that's required for the septic systems and for going to be closer to the zoning regulations in square foot area, where both of these lots do not meet the minimum square foot area of one acre. So with this Form A plan and carving out the lots would, go up to close to, 35,000 square feet, where they're very, they're not that large in area right now. This is the variance plan that we would submit to the Zoning Board of Appeals. And then we did show last time at the meeting, the green cards and the legal notice.
Mhm.
And then really important, this plan here is vitally important to this application, members of the commission. And the reason why we showed this plan, this was a plan that was prepared by prepared for Mr. Wayne Weber, the dad of David Weber. And back in 1986, and through the Zoning Board of Appeals, was able to get an order of conditions for the development of this lot that you see here. This is the lot 25 that we're talking about. So the Conservation Commission in Bridgewater at the time granted an order of conditions and for the alteration of wetlands at the time. And then the zoning board acted as well and granted a variance on the frontage as well as the square foot area of the lot. So in kind, that's really what we're trying to do once again. So there were permits that were granted by the commission at one time, and there was a zoning board decision that was granted as well. So this is very, very, great information to help with, the reasonings why we're trying to put a house in here and also, put a septic system in, meeting the setbacks and so on and so forth. So, I don't want to, beat a dead horse, but the issue really is at hand is that at one time there was a permit to build this, they just didn't act upon it. And it kind of goes along with what was previously granted by the commission and by the zoning board of appeals. So when you see, so this is the house that's there existing, and this is the backyard with the I'm sorry, this is the pool. So the house is up here, and this is the pool area that we show on the plan, which you can see clearly here. This is the pool. That's the same pool on that other plan I just pointed to. So this application really follows in line with what was previously approved. So Madam Chair, I know we went out and did a sidewalk. Hopefully you'd like to hear from Caitlin. And then, hear back from the commission members, because I know that the commission members at the last meeting wanted to have it on site and walk the wetland line and see what was going on the lots, but no one was able to attend the meeting that we had on Monday. So I'd be more than happy to meet with everybody on site on another given day, to go over this application on the ground and so you can see what's actually happening. Madam Chair.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
I have a quick question before I pass it over to Caitlin. So the middle lot with the pool, is that currently there and it's all coming out?
No, if I may answer that question. So the existing house that you see here
Mm-hmm.
and this pool stays. We're proposing to put a house over here
Oh, on that lot.
on lot 25. But as you can see where these green lines are, we're gonna carve up this lot, this triangle that you see here. We're gonna carve it up and give this area to this lot, and then we're gonna give this area to this lot on lot 25. So this is where that wetland replication area is gonna go. So this shed and the treehouse, well, the treehouse could probably stay, but the shed will probably have to be moved because that's exactly where that wetland replication area is. So this house stays and this pool stays. Because they're existing.
I see. Okay. Can you go back to slide 8 for a minute? Where the house is proposed, and I think it's a deck, what is in the green shaded area?
Right here,
Yeah, what is that supposed to be?
that's where we're filling wetlands.
And
So
is that lawn?
Right now,
No,
it's,
what are you proposing that goes there? What?
what we're proposing is this plan here. It's very little area of lawn. Let me see. Yeah, you can see it over here. There's grading. So
Yep.
this would be a slope, like 3-to-1 slope coming down. So they're really not going to have this big backyard. It's really going to be the bulkhead of the house, and then this is the deck in this area here, and then the slope going down to the wetlands. So, as part of this, if the commission wants to go along with that, we could plant as a condition of approval, we could plant some of this slope here with some berry producing bushes to help out with the critters that would be coming around here and create an area for wildlife to eat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna let other commission members will speak, but I was curious about that because if it's the back of my house and I have a deck, that's my backyard. So one, we have a little bit of issue with grass being done and any kind of fertilization. It's already inside the wetland area, like it's in it, right? So I know that that's what the replication is for, but there's like a lot of activity that goes on in the backyard, and it looks like there's not a whole lot of space for it but anywhere else as far as a yard goes.
Yeah, that's correct.
That is their yard, so they're gonna be in the yard You know, who knows, having people over passing balls, you know, ball goes into the wetland, like, you know, it's just a struggle for me, so I just wanted to kind of pinpoint that out. I mean, I do like the restoration area, you know, it's a good plan. But I'm gonna let some other people speak. All right, Caitlin, did you wanna, share what you saw when you went out?
Sure, yeah, I can kind of summarize the site visit we did on Monday. So I went out there, we walked the wetlands line, as Brian said. And, you know, it was pretty clear. The site has really good topography, so it was really clear to see where the wetlands line was. So I didn't have an issue with the line. And then we went over where the replication is proposed. So, you know, it's right next to the wetland, which is good. In doing more research, since, you know, this hasn't come across my plate, in the time that I've been here, I've been researching, you know, replication plans. And the only comment I have on the plan is there's a little triangle that kind of the replication isn't touching the wetlands in one part. And you know, they usually like to see a continuous touching of the wetlands in the replication area. So I just wanted to comment on that. But other than that, you know, I think,
Are you talking about this triangle right here?
yes, yep,
Okay, we don't own this lot.
right, I understand that. Let's see what else. Let me look at my notes. Oh, I do want to read, because when we get the filing number notification from DEP, sometimes they have comments, sometimes they don't. And DEP did leave a comment, so I just wanted to read the comments that they had, just for the commission to hear. So it says, although a filing number is being issued, please note the following. 310 CMR 1055 4B states, the issuing authority may, not shall, issue an order of conditions permitting work which results in the loss of up to 5,000 square feet of border vegetated wetland. In the exercise of this discretion, the issuing authority shall consider the magnitude of the alteration and the significance of the project site to the interests identified at MGL 131 S40, the extent to which adverse impacts can be avoided, the extent to which adverse impacts are minimized, and the extent to which mitigation measures, including replication or restoration, are provided to contribute to the protection of the interests identified in MGLC 131 S40. And then the commission may wish to request a cross-section of the wetland replication area to ensure compliance with 310 CMR 1055 4B 1 through 7. And cross-section was new to me, so I kind of looked that up, and got some information on that. So that's just a more detailed report of the wetlands. So it'll give you more information on elevation, soil profiles, vegetation zones, water level indicators, grading details. So I just wanted to throw that out there for the commission, because DEP did have those comments. So I guess I'll turn it over to the commission and see what everybody's thoughts are.
I have a couple of things that I'd like to say. The previous house was 1,300. This one is almost 1,800. The replication was 1,150, and this one's 3,000. Why do we need all of that?
Through the chair, if I may.
Absolutely.
Okay, so wetlands grow over time, and Caitlin can attest to this. You know, the quality of the wetlands here is really vegetation, high groundwater that's out there. Because when we did a couple of augers to show where the hydric soils were, and as well as, you know, the water levels, when we pulled out the auger, you could see that the material was quite wet in this area. And so it's very a scrappy kind of wetland in this area. So and not really, you know, really thickly forested, a lot of briars, that are out here as well. So, with this, over time, wetlands do grow. So-
Right.
so
So
that's-
why would we
So that's
increase?
where, probably over the last 25 to 30 years, the wetlands have creeped up a little bit more on this lot. And the water levels have continued to come up. So that's where that new wetland line comes in, and that's where more of that alteration is required to put the house in.
And the house is 500 square feet more.
Yeah,
Right.
because, I'm looking at the house that was originally proposed was just a house that didn't have a garage. So this has a garage on the left-hand side of the house. So it's roughly the same, plus or minus the same square foot area. What do we have here? 20, yeah, so a 1,300. So it's a little bit, about 500 more square feet of house. Yes. Not 5,000 more square feet, 500.
Oh, 500, that's what I said, yeah.
Yep.
I think that hardship is
Not one.
not one, right?
So, you still going, Eileen?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Well, great question. And that was going to be first hire Marilyn McDonald, Vice Chair. That was going to be one of mine. Anything that's approved, in the 90s or 30 plus years ago is irrelevant to me. And basically, it tells me that you're probably going to have more of the wetlands because things change over 30 years. The other thing is we have a hard 25-foot no touch. Very, very rarely does something come up, and it's usually a public benefit, like recently down at 180 Broad. This is not a public benefit. And that line hasn't, I'm sure, it doesn't have an ANRAD on it. It's not like an active line that's been approved. And replications are tough and it takes a lot of work, but I could never justify. So this will be a hard no, because I can't justify letting the house try to squeeze in there and go into a 25-foot, no touch. Well, I'm going to be working hard to make it more 50 feet in the next upcoming year because we need to protect our wetlands. So this plan to me, no, I got a lot of problems with it. Next, I'll give it to Harry.
Thank you. Mine will be short and sweet. I'm one of the founders of the 25-foot no touch, so my answer is no.
I'm a little confused, Madam Chair. I didn't know we were taking a vote here.
I think they're just sharing their thoughts.
Okay. So I just, for the record, I want to make it very clear that what we propose, and I know Caitlin read those notes from the DEP. What the DEP is actually telling you is that that we can fill wetlands up to 5,000 square feet with the approval of the commission, and
Right, with the approval, we understand that. We truly do. A lot of us have been on for a lot of years. We understand, and what that also says is we don't have to approve it. So what we're trying to tell you is this isn't a hardship that we're seeing here. So it's,
Okay,
It's
I'd
no
like to
for me.
finish what I was saying, if I could, Marilyn?
go ahead. Yep.
Okay, so the plan that you see in front of you and what the DEP has said in their comments pretty much says that we have met the performance standards of the Wetland Protection Act. Based on what I'm hearing from the commission members, it sounds like you don't want to grant the waiver on your local bylaw. However, if we had to, I'm not saying we're going to do this because I don't know where this project is going to go. If we had to appeal, the performance standards have been met under the act, and I'm pretty sure that the DEP would go along with this. I don't know if a judicatory or a land court would go along with it. However, the basis of the information that we're provided to you, and I know you said, the commission of 25 or 30 years ago is different, and I agree with that. However, the facts remain that the Bridgewater Commission granted an order of conditions, approved the wetland line, and so did the ZBA approve the variance for the construction of this single-family home at one time. So those are pretty big flat facts to prove and for the basis of this, for this application. And through an order of conditions, if the commission issues, is approving the wetland line. Yeah, we didn't file an ANRAD to have you approve it, but one of the mechanisms of the notice of intent is to have the commission approve the wetland line and the resource areas associated with that. And that's part of the order of conditions that is issued, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you.
And also, hon, just to be clear on the Bridgewater 25 no-foot touch, there's no waivers that we have on that. It's totally up to the board. If they want to be appealed, it doesn't even go to DEP, it goes to court if it wants to be appealed. I mean, if we want to go around in circles in this, we can, or if we want to try to get a solid ground, if the applicant would be, open to having a third party review, because, I still got to go out and look at a line because that line's not verified. That might give us some direction to go in. So I'll see how the rest of the board is entertaining that.
Okay, so if I may, through the chair, I
Yeah.
thought that when your agent comes out and looks at the wetland line and meets with me and the wetland consultant and does auger testing, looks at the vegetation and agrees upon the line, that is a verification of the line. I know that
No, only the board
I-
can, only
I-
the board can verify the line.
if I may, through the
Just give me
chair.
s-
Yep.
So that's why
Can
you
I
put-
just say,
that's why you
instead
have
of,
that's why you have an agent to,
Why are we arguing about this? Only the board verifies the line.
okay, then why didn't any of the commission members come to the onsite?
I got a first-time vacation in a long time. I'm in Florida.
Well, there's 4 other members.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna show up. Is that what you guys were talking about before the meeting started? The Caitlin going on the
Yeah.
site?
Yep.
So before the meeting started, all of you?
no, I came on right before it started.
Oh, okay.
Can I just say there was the wetland line was delineated in 2024. Did you know that, Marilyn?
But who approved is what I'm asking. It has to, the only people that can approve a wetland line is the Board of Conservation, whatever town they're in, through a couple of ways, through an ANRAD or through a notice of intent. So if it came in 2024, did they have it approved during an ANRAD? Or was there another notice of intent out there?
Okay, if
Because
I
as of
may-
right now, it's not truly an approved line unless one of those two things happened.
Okay, if I through the chair,
Yes.
I just said, if you remember what I just said, Marilyn, we filed this notice of intent with the Conservation Commission, with this application and for the construction of this single-family home and the wetland replication with the wetland line that was delineated by Brad Holmes at ECR. As part of this application is for you, this board, to approve that wetland line.
That's what I'm saying. See, we're on the same line.
And I
And
said,
we
we did
didn't get
not
out
file an ANRAD before. I already said that.
Just trying to make clear, there is no active line out there right now. It comes through board approval or
there-
board denial.
There is an active line delineated on the ground with flags and flag numbers that your agent came out, looked at, and agreed upon and said, yes, this pretty much looks like the wetland line. And she said in the beginning of the meeting, it was very clear where the wetland line was, and the topography helped her out to determine that.
I'm gonna even make this a little bit
It
more
is
clear.
not my-
Active
it was not
lines
my
sometimes mean
understanding.
a line that's flagged. Caitlin, if you wouldn't mind jumping in, because Caitlin's new and she's just started doing these wetland finds. An approved line is approved by the board, not by anybody's town agent. So I can see Caitlin saying that line looked good. I've been out with her many weeks, when she first came on, clear line, this and that. But Caitlin, under state authority, does not have the right to approve the line. Only the Bridgewater Conservation
I
or whatever
didn't-
town you're filing in
I'm,
does.
si- I'm not
It's that
asking her
simple.
to approve the line, Marilyn. I'm saying that she agreed upon the
Okay.
wetland line that's on the ground. That's all. It's up to
Okay.
you to approve the line through this application of a notice of intent and through an order of conditions, period.
And I do that by going out myself. Everybody will tell you, I go see my own lines, and if I, feel there has to be a third party, we go
So
from
then-
there. But
then we should pause right now and schedule a date and time.
sounds good.
I like that.
And I thought that's what we did at the last meeting. Because we had 4 days that we picked. It was last Thursday and Friday and this Thursday and Friday.
Well, I was not on the last meeting, but I did watch the tape, and I'm been on vacation for a couple of weeks, so that's where
So
we are with
if I
that one.
may, I think we need to be real clear. So if we have a few dates, like, we need to be all emailed and follow up with that. Caitlin, because I don't know what time you went out, but like I work, I'm not around in the area until 3 or after.
Chair, if I may, so I did send out to everyone a mass email about, both, notice of intents that we're hearing tonight. So I can do that again, or, we could, if you guys know your schedules now, if when I'm in the office Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you guys know, say next week, oh, I could go out Monday morning or afternoon, I'm pretty flexible in the next coming weeks to go out and do a site visit. I'm happy to go out with you guys again. So I don't know if you guys would like to solidify a Monday, Wednesday, Friday of next week or the week after now, or by email.
A point of order, Madam Chair. I'm not
Yes.
available next week. I'm going to be out of the country for a funeral. So I won't be available till Thursday or Friday of next week. And also, if more than, another point of order, Madam Chair, if more than 3 members are planning on meeting on site at any given time together, it has to be posted as a public
Oh,
hearing.
yeah.
Oh,
We
we
know
know that.
Indeed,
We
we know
get that.
that.
Are you
Um,
okay with people going out on their own?
We would prefer to have the property walked with myself and or Brad Holmes.
Okay. Monday or Wednesday is the best for me. Those are the, well, I mean, I could do Friday too, but any of it, I can't go out until after 3 o'clock. So that's I can be available, but I just can't be there until after 3.
So if Brian isn't available next week, we have Monday the 10th, we have Wednesday the 12th. And then the 13th will be our meeting, so I want to say we'd probably want to shoot for the 10th or the 12th.
So I can do Monday, the 10th in the afternoon again, after 3 o'clock, Madam Chair.
Yeah, that's when I can be available.
So 3 o'clock start, or would you rather 3:30 start?
3:15 is fine.
3:15.
I mean, I don't know other people, because I'd like Marilyn, Eileen, you guys, like if you
Yep.
can be out there too.
I can do the 10th.
The 10th,
Yep,
is 3:15 okay, or 3:30?
yep, either one.
Yeah, either
Hopefully
one.
It's not pouring or snowing.
Well,
So
let's hope
if it
it's-
is, we might
hopefully
want to do, because it sounds like we'll have a quorum. We might need a backup quorum. If it's, I don't know the weather. But
Yeah. So a backup day, you're saying?
yeah,
So you
the
said-
Wednesday.
So Wednesday,
That's
the 12th?
Well, we got Monday, but Caitlin, can you list it as a rain date? I think we can legally list it as a rain date.
Yeah.
Yep.
So backup site walk will be Wednesday.
Yeah,
the
because if
12th.
it snows, it does something like that, like it's been doing in early February, we're not gonna see the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, because right now you can clearly see the ground. There's some snow out there, but
yeah, it's minimal right now.
yeah, it's very, very
Really wet,
small.
that's all.
Yeah.
Really-
Kids New England, I don't know.
Mm.
Hopefully it's gonna be 60 degrees or better when we do this.
We had a
be
beautiful day
hot.
on Monday, so.
We sure did.
All right.
All right, so we're
Okay,
shooting
so
for
why
Monday
don't
the
we do
10th.
that? We'll continue. Mark, did you have anything else that you wanted to add in?
I'm all set.
Okay. Can I just get clarification on the what you have up right now, the blue line? Are those the flags? Like I can't, the way
Yeah,
that
so
my,
that blue line is the wetland line with the flags on it, yes.
okay, so if the green line is the 25 foot, how come the green line and the blue line are like on top of each other? Shouldn't it be 25 feet out?
Yeah, so what I did on this plan, I'm gonna go back. So these would be the proposed buffers. We were trying to show that where the septic system is being sited would be 50 feet outside of the wetland line. So let
Mhm.
me go back to the first slide. Okay, so here's Here's the wetland line with the flags on it. Can you see that, Chair?
The
Madam
black
Chair?
one, yes.
Okay, this green line here is the 25, the orange is the 50,
Yep.
and the 100 is the yellow line.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, does that answer your question?
Not really. So how come, how come, like on this one, it's clearly 25, 50, 100?
Yeah,
And then why does the 25 and the wetland one, why do they meet over each other?
because what we're trying to do is, here's this dashed dark line that you see here.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the new wetland line after we fill. And then therefore, we have a 25-foot buffer, then a 50-foot, and then 100. So this is in proposed
I see.
conditions,
I
what the
got you now.
buffer zones would be,
I got you now. Okay.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Chair,
What
can
day do you
I
think?
ask a question?
Yes,
So Brian, I know we had discussed this because I had the same question as commission members with the overlap. So we discussed existing conditions, which you have on that first page. But do you have a plan with the existing conditions that will show the 25-foot buffer with the building,
yep,
not
hold on.
including the replication?
Your screen just disappeared.
Yeah, I'm getting to the,
Oh, okay.
okay, we got it now? Let
No,
me see.
Coming up. Maybe
Hmm.
not. Nope, that's Harry. Yes,
There
coming
it
up.
is.
there it
All right.
is.
So here's, again, maybe I can zoom down so you can see this a little bit better. Is that a little bit clearer?
Beautiful.
Okay. So here's the wetland line on the existing conditions. Here's the 25-foot buffer zone in green.
Mhm.
Orange is 50. Yellow is 100. Okay. So this is where the wetland replication is going to be in this area here. Okay. And then you can see the pool a little bit clearer, the existing house a little bit clearer, where the shed is. Tree house is still there, even though the tree is kind of being eaten by the bugs and the woodpeckers and whatever. And then the next plan is that wetland replication plan. So what we did was, in the proposed condition, here's the blue wetland line. You can see the flags, flag numbers. This dark line on the other side of this hatched blue would be the new wetland line. If the commission grants an order of conditions to alter the wetland line, and then this wetland line would go away, and then this would be the new 25-foot buffer zone. This would be the new 50-foot buffer zone, and this would be the new 100-foot buffer zone. So we were trying to show the proposed development of the house and the proposed buffer zones along with the wetland replication. So you can see now a little bit clearer. Now I go to this plan, you can see the bulkhead, the deck, and the slope here coming down, to the wetland edge, because we have to, keep the septic system up high, and we need to meet all those separation, and we want to make sure that the dwelling is not in the water table as well. So that's the reason for the grading. So
Do you have to do any fill in there?
fill in where? Right
I
here?
don't know where the house is going or in
This
that
is-
area, yeah.
This is where the house is going. So this would all be fill.
Mm-hmm.
So this is about, I don't know, about 5 feet of fill in this area to get up to the elevation we need. And then of course, down to 0 here. So we're going from 68 to 73, and then the top finished floor is 77. So these are a lot of steps to get up here. So would be a high deck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you can see a little bit more detail when I'm looking at the plan instead of the slides that we prepared, the detail to the wetland replication area. And that's that triangle that Caitlin was talking about. But we are connected to the wetland line over here. We are connected to the wetland line over here. So,
Okay.
all right. So what day were you thinking of continuing this meeting to, Madam Chair?
We can try for the 13th.
Hold on, Wendy. We also have to make sure if anybody has any questions and
Oh, right, right.
still kind of toying with me. I don't know if we want to talk about it before, like on the meeting right now or after we do the walk, but I'm still thinking in my mind with, replications and stuff, I'd like to see a third party out there if we deem it necessary. So we can either table that for like the on-site meeting, or if people think we need it now, before we let the public talk and take a vote to close.
So what do people think? I mean, is it something that we want to get moving on so that we have it and we don't have to postpone and then get a review and postpone and wait? I mean, what do we think about that?
Harry,
Don't
Eileen?
everybody- Don't everybody speak at once.
Did we lose them?
I don't,
I'm still here.
Mark?
I would like to see a third party review, but I don't want him to, spend his money or spend their money if you guys if everyone's gonna vote against it anyway. So it's kind of a tough call to suggest third party review if it's gonna be, if there's something obvious out there that we're all gonna notice.
So if I may, through the chair, before we spend any more money and time,
yep,
um,
but do the
If
site visit.
if you want to do the site visit and if you wanted to sit without making a formal vote and give me an understanding of where you sit, and if it's a no across the board, then we know where we sit, and then we can either figure out what we're gonna do, or we can go to the onsite and then say yes or no.
On
Did
the-
Harry or Eileen just weigh in?
Yeah, I got a question. The corner of the house is gonna be how far from the wetlands? That corner right there. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be about 15 feet from the
You
wetland.
need 50.
I'm sorry?
You need 50 feet.
Where'd you come up with that number, Harry? Sorry. I mean,
That's what why don't we go out and measure the corner of the houses?
isn't that to a 25 no touch?
The corner of the house has to be 50 feet away. We've
Is
been
that
doing this for
is
years.
that a building code in the town of Bridgewater?
I don't know whose code it is, but that's what we've been doing.
I'm
I don't remember seeing anything that requires
not familiar with
the
that.
house to be 50 feet away. I know the septic system field, meaning this corner here, has to be 50 feet from the wetlands. Is that what you're thinking about, Harry? If I may through the chair?
It might be,
Okay, so we do have that.
yeah.
Well, I suggest we meet out there on the 10th or the 12th. And from there, we'll determine whether or not we want a third party review or whether or not you want to continue.
Okay. I mean, I can see that you're in a tight spot for like building a house, but because of the wetland, because of the layout of this lot, like it's difficult. And you're trying to make it work and you're trying to do the best you can. So why don't we do that? We have the 10th or the 12th. It sounds like we'll have a quorum, so Caitlin can post it with a backup day for the 12th.
Yep.
We can set it for 3:15 or 3:30, whatever you decide.
Okay, I think that's the way to go from here.
Okay.
So why don't we do
Yeah.
that? But before we do, are there any abutters that are on that wanna ask a question or have a comment before maybe I don't know. I don't know what we're doing next. You can raise your hand or, get Caitlin's attention.
I'm not seeing anybody, Chair.
Okay. So do we just, Marilyn, do we want to just continue it until the 13th?
Yep, the applicant's fine with continuing it, so I'll make the motion to continue it in, what's the date, Caitlin, the 18th?
Going to be 3/13.
The 13th.
The 13th, oh, my lucky number. All right, we'll continue it to 3/13 of March.
Yep.
Okay.
Second,
Thank you, Harry. And roll call vote, Marilyn,
Aye.
Harry,
aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
Mark,
All right.
and myself, Wendy. Aye.
All right,
All
very
right.
good.
So we'll
And
see you
then-
out there. We'll hope for the 10th and a beautiful day.
Amen to that. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great evening. I
All right,
appreciate
you
your
too.
time and consideration. Thank you again.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
I know.
Bye-bye.
Okay, next up, we have new business. We don't have any.
Yay.
Oh, shame.
That's shame. Yeah, okay. And the Conservation Commission business, administrative items, there's discussion on 1453 Plymouth Street, BRS. What's the update with that, Caitlin?
Yeah, so last meeting, we discussed there was filling in of a pretty substantial amount of wetlands on 1453 Plymouth Street. So my update on that is I did send out via certified mail an enforcement order to the owners, just requesting that there's different sections. I didn't request an NOI filing, but a restoration plan to remediate the damage that has been done. And I do think I see Joe Aruda on.
Yep.
So if we could have him speak and hear from him, I think that would be great.
Okay. And Caitlin, just for the record of disclosure, I know Joey Aruda, we do work with him if our scale is down. We use his scale if our scale is down. So I just wanted that on the record.
Gotcha. Thank you,
Thanks,
Marilyn.
Marilyn. So Joe, can you just give your name and address?
Absolutely. So I'm Joe Aruda, the owner of Bridgewater Rainham Sandstone. My address, I reside at 369 Church Street in Rainham.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a map. I'm not fancy like the engineers, so I don't know if I can hit video to start to show you. and
Yeah,
kind of
Joe, I
explain-
can give you permission to share your screen. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right, you should be good to go.
So I can hit the video button. Is that true?
So
Down the
I
bottom
see
of the
you.
Zoom, it says
Okay.
share.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I hit that.
Yep, now we
Yep.
see you, so we got
All
you.
right. All right. So what I've done here, I had an overlay done of the property lines, which I hopefully if I turn this way, because I'm not very savvy with this stuff. Can you see it?
Yeah,
So this is our facility, and we've deemed the areas from back when we bought the property. Obviously, we want to be a good neighbor to our neighbors. And at some point, the economic development had taken us all in about sound. So at that time, what I did is I had built a sound barrier over here, way back for these neighbors on this side.
now
I-
is that Plymouth Street right there where your fingers are?
Yes, this is Plymouth Street, and this
Alright.
is where High Street comes in, and then this is Plymouth all the way
Gotcha.
down.
Yeah.
So what I did is I started here, way back for these neighbors. I made a sound barrier here, finished. We have neighbors in the back, which that sound barrier was already existing. It was an old road that they had, so I just mulched it. When you come out, you'll see that I mulched that there. And over here, I created a sound barrier across the front of our property, which we're extending the fence to cover this loop. Behind all these houses, you'll see a massive sound barrier here. Then it comes this is down low, so this is a natural sound barrier here. But across the back, we did a sound barrier to approximately here. And then as time's gone on, back here where they said that we went on town property, 100%. We got permission back in the day when the well went in. We worked with them. All the trees that were, this was the Wyman property. They had stacked all the stumps up against the edge there, which they, they don't want stumps buried, obviously. So at that time, we had pushed them back to this edge here, on top of the ground. And we sifted through, took all the big wood, ground it. And what these berms, this berm goes like this to the corner of my property here, probably about 25 feet off the corner of the property. And it's a sound barrier, and it comes down, and I would love for you guys to come out. In 33 years there, I've never had a violation or even a complaint about our facility. So we are hoping that we're doing the right thing by everybody. We're bringing the sound barrier up to here, which the wetlands is right here. That we went back like 125, 150 feet and we stopped. And the reason we stopped is when you walk out there, you'll see that this little area right here is I would consider it like a vernal pool. It's a low area. So to go past that, I would be within 100 feet. I'd be outside like 50 feet of it. To close the sound barrier loop to the existing sound barrier here. There's just like a little loop
Can
here.
you show us there we go. Good.
Yep, I'm sorry.
That's
Yep.
okay. We were
Um,
just talking about the
So
sound barrier
the sound barrier for these houses ends right here where my finger is right now.
in the corner, yep.
Yep. So we want to go all the way across, but right here, you can see there's a little area there that we would need to get permission to finish that because it would be like 50 feet, 60 feet away from that to make it just to make it a straight line from this. And then this all out here, we're leaving alone. There was a house proposed out there at one point that was, in my idea, not a good one. Because there's a lot of sensitive areas out here. So we're gonna kind of donate all this land here back to Mother Nature. I know that we have trails over here now that has been done for the town to be able to walk out there.
Yep.
So this buffer is a sound barrier up to here and here. I think, and I'm hoping I can show you, this area has been cleared. And what we did is when we bring in material from a lot of sites, it comes in almost like soup. So we dig down and we will put that air material in, and then we cover it with mulch. Like you'll see areas that we mulched over, and that just, it keeps it so that some kid, we don't give permission for people to go out there, but unfortunately kids like to ride their
That's true.
four-wheelers.
Yep.
And we were having a hard time with people dumping stuff on the town property years ago because I didn't have a gate. Now I have a gate.
Mhm.
And now with this completion of this berm, when I say a berm, you ain't gonna get up over it with a dirt bike or a four-wheeler. It's a sound barrier, and I put it as straight as I could, so that and what I want to do is put trees on it. I'm gonna plant seedlings on the like I did out front here. I had put all like arborvitaes, not arborvitaes, evergreens, because the arborvitaes, my deer will eat them
Yeah,
pretty
they eat
quick.
them.
Yeah,
So
they
I
like.
have I have a question, Joe. So
Sure.
I guess my understanding was that there was some fill of like water. So it's half tree and
Yep,
half,
right in here. Yep.
yes, like in that area, is that where there was some type of water? Like
I-
that you filled in, or like
No,
I mean,
we
I don't
dug
know
out, we dug these out and we put, like, we use the entire property and we use a tremendous amount of water in our facility.
Mhm.
When I first bought the facility, 33 years ago, the DEP came down with me and we went discussing from our water plant. We have these large ponds. And the water wasn't recycled. So we came up with a program with them and they came down and checked it twice. And we're completely happy because I go a little bit above and beyond just because that's the way I like to do things.
Mhm.
So the water comes from the wash plant, hits this first pond, hits the second pond, hits the third pond. And by that time it's clear and goes back into and is recycled. We have we have a permanent pond, a pump in the river that if we got in a real drought, we could pump from that, or we use that for dust control. And that's been there since the 30s, I believe. And that the DEP approved all of that, how we have everything. It's on a raft, so it moves up and down. And then over here, like we have right here, these are ponds that we dug, and the trucks will come in with the slurry, which is all tested before it comes to our facility, and they dump in those, and then they dry out, and then those are used actually mixed in with compost and loam, and put out back to be recycled. Same thing with here. We've moved our stumps away from the river. We put a sound barrier across the back here because now there's a new project over here. So we're basically, when I get done with my dream here, I'll have my entire property with that sound barrier so that we're a good neighbor. This area here will be to the conservation. It'll just be this, unfortunately, I wish that when the kids would come out with the four-wheelers, they would just not do so much damage to my machines. But sometimes, you know, we have a lot of great kids in the neighborhood, but you have a couple that decide to come out there. So a fence ain't gonna work. We made it so we feel it's pretty impossible by doing what we've done to keep them out from damaging the equipment and also damaging these paths, because they're gonna get on these paths and destroy them. I would like to, once we come out there, work with you guys. I could do, right now, there's like rocks at the bottom, so they couldn't possibly go up it. And cause damage, but I look at it now and by the height that we have, I don't see anybody going over this at all. So I'd like to work with you guys on something with this piece of property. If you guys wanted to put, you know, I know they extended some trails over there, but if they would like to, you know, with the conservation, do something there nice for the town and just make this, so when we're working out here, the backup alarms, that's not my rule, it's the rule. So it is obnoxious, but you know what? I've not gotten one complaint in the neighborhood. Maybe somebody saw something that they were confused with. Because if there was, in this area to protect the well, there was some gravel, we dug down and we put a clay barrier, which if you come out right now, everything's kind of soup. But this is all filled in with clay so that we protect the drinking water. That was something that Judd and Stan came up with years ago. They asked us, you know, anywhere where you could put that. It's the washings basically from the plant. It's nothing it's all virgin material that's washed in the plant, and it makes like a fine clay. And we've put that down to stop any penetration of that. And what we would like to do, and you know, with your permission, when you guys come out there, I've never asked for permission because I go above and beyond, I feel. But you know, bringing it to the attention of everybody now, it's a different world, and I apologize if I overstepped. I just thought I was doing the right thing. We did get permission. Even the water department would tell you, we asked about this. And everything that we did there was of no cost to the town. And by this berm taking so long, it's because we've only using loom tailings. We're not putting stumps in there where the you know, the decaying of stumps may cause an issue that they were concerned about. So we have all a clay layer down, and we have loom tailings all the way, and it did cut the corner right here. You can see this corner, which no one had a problem with, because this is still town property. It's just going to be a mound, and hopefully it'll be all trees. You know, I want to put seedling trees on the whole thing to kind of keep everybody good neighbor. Quiet neighbor's a good neighbor. Well, at least I was told that. And then, you know, this is all going to be.
Yeah,
This area here is all gonna be grass, back to hay. The swath from here all the way down, that's all gonna be hay over here. There's a parking lot here but we're going back to grass and getting away from the river. This was all, years and years ago. They did things different than we do now.
Right.
They pushed
Joe,
everything down.
I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
that, we can stop.
Okay.
It's the plans that you have, intensity that you've done things,
Yeah.
you're very much aware and trying to go above and beyond and do the right thing, and that's great. I mean, everything that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm still a little confused, and we don't need to go on and on about it, but
Yeah.
so you dug holes to put the slurry in, right?
The clay,
So-
the
okay,
slurry
so
goes
you-
up here. Yeah.
Yep, so you did that, and then the cleaning of the ponds, like the question was, and I don't know, Caitlin, can you help with the clarification of this? I thought
Yeah.
that there were ponds out there that he filled. Are they
So-
confused by that or what?
Why don't I can share my screen.
Yes.
Because I have aerials that show what I'm referring to. So let me pull those documents up and I'll share my screen just to
Perfect.
kind of give you an idea,
Yep.
Joe, of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because the man-made sound makes sense.
Hmm,
So let me
Right.
just. Okay. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, I can know.
Okay, so in this area here, we have open water.
Where's
Can you see my mouse scroll?
Yep, so
Okay.
that looks like the water he was talking about where it goes through cycles to get cleaned. It goes from one pond to another pond to another pond, it's cleaned,
Yes.
it's recycled. So that's what that looks like. So were those ponds already there? I should probably just let you finish. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Gotcha. So let me pull up the aerials so this is, all right. It's hard to see the property outline here. All right. So yeah, that right here is what
Mhm.
I was looking at because, hold on, I'm trying to. So you'll see the water's here.
Yep.
And as I go down, as time goes on, they start filling in. See right here.
Yep.
All
Those
right.
are the ponds, and that's what DEP had us do. Back way in the day, we put those ponds. They're above the ground. Those ponds are 20 feet up. That was all dirt, and we made those ponds.
So they're man-made.
They're all
Man-made.
man-made. And it's for the recycling, because what happened back, when this plant originally started, they just dumped the water right into the river. They actually used to wash out over on the backside. You can go there and I can show you they just poured the concrete right off the edge, right into the river.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So there's a good reason you guys have commissions today. And I
So is
understand that.
that what somebody's confused about then, Caitlin?
Yes,
Like
yeah.
whoever, like they thought that they were ponds that like were there?
Yeah, so when I received the call, this is what they were referring to. I said, I'm
Yeah.
happy to look at the aerials.
I would love you to come down. You're always welcome to
Yeah.
come.
And I could see how that would be confusing.
And
Right.
honestly, I understand that now. I
Yeah,
do.
and
Because
Joe,
when I look at it.
I apologize with the misunderstanding if those are man-made.
Yeah.
When I see open water, I say, okay.
100%.
Yep.
It's great. Honestly, I don't see any harm. If some neighbor thought they had something, they could have called me, but there's no harm in meeting. You guys have a lot on your plate, and I saw that tonight with what you go through, but you're more than welcome to come down. I'll show you. These ponds actually have flumes in them, so nothing is ever, and that was a great thing. Years and years ago, whoever did it, that land was so high that none of the ponds were in the water, down. They were all lined, raised up. And I would love I can show you how we've protected it and how we've mulched everything. And like I'm actually, I would love for you to come. Right now, it's terrible because a lot of this over here, the frost is coming out. But in a little bit, these are all gonna be grass. That's gonna be all hay. And all across the back's gonna be hay. And we're done near, everything is pretty much cleaned up. It's taken me 33 years and I'm still not done,
Still
but
working on it.
got more stuff done here than I have at my own
Mhm.
house, though.
Well, maybe we could take we could take
A
a trip
field
out
trip, teach-
sometime to see
I
it.
would, I
Right?
absolutely, because I actually, the way I'm setting this up, would like to do field trip. I'm trying to
Yeah.
I'm trying to suck the young generation back into construction, and it's not been easy. I want to put
Yeah.
fun land down here.
I think a site visit would be perfect. And Joe,
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
really appreciate
Yep.
you coming on and making this clarification because,
Yep.
if I want to do the right thing.
No,
And
100%.
I'm really glad you were here to explain because
And I apologize. I didn't get your letter till yesterday, and I tried. I guess you work over in a different town today, so I apologize. It's taken me a little bit to get back to you. I got the letter, and I'm, by all means, I'm proud of what I'm doing. And like I said, this area here, I stopped because I'm gonna need you guys to say, okay, Joe, you can close that gap, because I am gonna be, this whole area is beautiful for the animals.
Well, thank you, Joe, so much for coming in and really clearing up and doing a great presentation. And I think our
Thank you.
chair, who is a teacher, would love us to do a field day trip.
Yeah,
I
that would
would
be
love it.
fun.
We talked about it years ago, but my equipment years ago wasn't up to par. So I've tried, I put my heart and soul into that place. And like I said, I would never be embarrassed for you to stop by at any time and take the guidance. And yes, you know what, I know what they're referring to is because as time's gone on, we needed more, we do a lot of fill and we screen it out, and I guarantee that's what she saw or whoever saw it over here, because we don't, the plants now are more efficient than years ago. Everything was bigger and just crazy. The pipes used to be 12-inch, now we're down to like an 8-inch pipe to feed the water because the screen is screened faster and you don't need as much water to clean it. So
Well,
yeah,
we'll be in touch then. We'll be in
please.
touch
yeah,
about.
I'd
if
be
we can-
happy to reach out to schedule a site visit. Anybody who's available to come out. Yeah, I'll
Oh, yeah,
definitely be in touch
absolutely.
and we'll get out there and
Okay.
we'll have a little powwow.
I
Cool.
would absolutely
like a
love it
plan.
and look forward to it.
All right. Thanks so much, Joe. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys very much.
And your hard work.
Thank you.
Sorry about the confusion, but
No worries.
No worries.
All
guys-
good.
All
you
right.
guys, yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joe.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, next up we have minutes. I did get to print them and look them over today, actually. So hopefully, did other people get a chance to look at minutes that we
Yeah.
can vote to accept?
Yep,
Yes.
all good.
Did you? Harry, did
Yep.
you?
No, I'm
No, you
not
didn't.
worried about
Okay.
minutes.
But Marilyn did. Eileen did. Mark, did you get a chance to look at minutes?
No, I wasn't at these meetings.
Okay. So we do have a quorum, so can we accept the minutes?
Accept the minutes as presented on agenda for approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call vote. Marilyn,
Aye.
Eileen,
Aye.
and myself, Wendy, aye. And with that, thank you very much for all being here tonight. And I'll see you on the 10th if the weather's with us. Right, Marilyn, what's the weather?
Right now it's 80.
Stop it.
I'm jealous.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I
Beautiful
have friends
sunset.
down there going down. Oh, my goodness.
Okay,
Well, it's a nice
sorry.
day today. All right,
I gotta go.
okay.
All right.
Motion to adjourn?
I
Motion
did.
to adjourn.
Okay, good. Okay.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, Caitlin.
Thank you.